Couple
You
times
never got burnt?
No.
Shorty you brought to the crib that day?
Burnt you?
I know she had something.
Maybe you wore condom.
Hey.
Did you wear condom?
Which one? No.
Yeah, there you go.
The one we know.
I thought you don't wear condom.
Oh.
I don't now. I don't have to now.
Sometimes you get unlucky.
Oh my God, yo. Why y'all don't let me lie, but then I gotta let y'all lie.
You ain't gotta let nobody lie.
Ooh, yo. Like certain people look like they had an STD before, yo. You had an STD, Ice, yo.
Hey, you laughing? I know you're not laughing, Mr. Inside Out Rubber.
Yo, me? Oh yeah, nah, I was on your side.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Trying to get in a better habit of running podcasts back and just listening to it in its entirety, as opposed to trying to get the clip that I need for the day that it drops. So anticipate going forward more detailed videos on the day after the pod. But that being said, I listened to yesterday's podcast all over again in its entirety, and I have to say I was wrong. I thought that energy was going to carry over throughout the entirety of the episode, and because of my own personal bias, every slight that was shot yesterday when I watched it, I attributed it to the beginning of the pod. But on second playback, I have a couple of other discrepancies that I would like to speak about. Let's start with the clip that I started the video off with. Ice, brother, man, I've been lenient on you. The JBP or JBTV community hasn't been lenient on you, but a lot of the people making videos have been lenient on you. This little altercation or back and forth, whatever you want to call it, is going to make me start taking shots in your direction. I've been getting on Imani's case for his sensitivity. I've been getting on Flip's case for all the mistakes he makes. I get on Mel's case for all the sensitivity she shows and the lies she gets off. But this shit right here, you cannot continue to do this because Imani got your ass. Let's just be clear. That shit was funny as hell. And the way he said it, it's like he's been harboring that. That nigga's been trying to get that off on you on a public platform for a minute. And in typical Ice fashion, you immediately deflect. You not only take the joke, oh yeah, get your jokes off. No, nigga, first of all, you don't fucking allow jokes to aim in your direction. And everybody, this is how I act outside of making content. I don't let people just get jokes off on me too, so I feel you, and maybe that's why I don't speak on it. But on the pod, you take more shots than anyone else, and they're subtle shots. And whenever other people take shots, you're the first one to speak on the shot that they took. So you instigate a lot of the shit, but then you can't take it whenever it's aimed at your direction. And let's be clear, again, Ice, no one believes that you haven't gone without sex for more than 2 weeks, unless you was paying for the panani. No one believes your game is like that. Everybody's speaking about your breath in the Patreon comments and the YouTube comments. Everybody's speaking about your appearance. And I'm a man. I don't like to speak on other men's appearances. I don't give a fuck about that. But you can't be shooting shots at everybody else, and then as soon as it's shot in your direction, you deflect and you try to point fun at somebody else just like you did with Flip. But y'all are all sensitive up there, and that's another thing I noticed. Mel's presence, or Mel's absence, I should say, is letting me know how sensitive each and every one of y'all are. Y'all. And I keep getting on Mark's case, but upon further review, I watched the playback, and y'all shoot in his direction a lot too. He just laughs it off. Or he allows y'all to get y'all jokes off and jokes back in your direction. Yes, I still think Mark be saying some off-the-wall shit, but it would be different, or the antipathy I showed towards him in that regard would have more credence behind it if he couldn't take the jokes in return. But he does, and he's good at it. So, Ice, but I don't want to make this whole episode on Ice. I do find it very telling that a lot of the guys, if not all of the guys, were way more open and vulnerable on speaking on personal experiences. We got Ish to speak on his lady and having kids with his lady? When the fuck does that happen? Mark got Flip to expand on why he actually enjoys his wife and not why she enjoys him and tolerates him and puts up with his shenanigans. So they were able to speak on things that they're normally not able to speak on because Joe will quickly segue a topic if he doesn't feel the severity of it. But Joe's presence or absence was missed as well. The thing I just clown on him for is one of the best things he does is segueing topics or not letting topics drag on for as long as they were on his Patreon. And there was a couple of times Parks had to play music in order to get these niggas to switch topics. Mark was doing a great job of introducing topics or getting people to expand or expound upon the topics that they already started. And that leads me to the main and more pressing issue. Mark knows he doesn't look right in Joe's chair. He knows his stature. There's something, I don't want to say wrong, but something different with Mark's stature. It's like his head is too little for his body, so he looks smaller as a result. Because when he stands next to Ian, he's not short. He's taller than the vast majority of the co-hosts, but the proportion of his body makes him look smaller than he actually is. So he don't want to sit in Joe's chair. But let's be clear, Flip was not the A mic in this pod. The topics that seamlessly transitioned was because of Mark's doing. And every topic that they quickly transitioned to was because of Flip. He wouldn't let the jokes fly. He wouldn't let the topics land. He wouldn't let them come to a natural conclusion. He was just trying to go from the next to the next to the next. A lot of the jokes, though, that they're all getting off at each other were good jokes. So I have to call a spade a spade. Yesterday I was just bitching because Imani was bitching. And I still don't think a podcast should start off in that format, but let's give a real review, especially one without Joe. And my brother sent me some type of article from Turks and Caicos about a mass shooting. And they're saying this never happens here. And Joe just happens to be out there. So hopefully he's made it back to the States already. And here's well wishes to a safe return and everybody's safety. But that's crazy. That's crazy. I just wanted to speak on that just for a tad bit. But as always, like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. You already know what it is over here. I just made a video on Patreon for the direction that I feel that the Joe Budden podcast is going, outside of things that I normally speak on, like the tension between the co-hosts and things of that sort. But y'all might want to check that one out. Because I see things happening that I haven't spoke on, but it's clear as day that these things are happening for a reason. So we'll speak on that over there. I have another video coming out today on YouTube, so y'all stay on the lookout for that. We're going to keep churning these videos out. Summer's almost over. My son told me just yesterday when I was dropping him off for basketball, hey, Dad, you know I start school on the 11th, right? What? Oh, shit. We got to go back to school shopping? I'm so used to just waiting till tax or income tax weekend, which is what I think it's this weekend. But still, like normally when I was a kid and income tax weekend came up, that means we had like a month before school started or 3 weeks. But nigga, income tax is this upcoming weekend and freaking gotta go to school on Monday. So it's like, what the fuck? But like I said, I'll see y'all a little later, man. I went off on a tangent. Peace.